the headlines today, which we give our headlines in the beginning today, the coastal tsunami advisory is still in effect as we're doing this show right now. And this is a crazy headline. Exclusive Islamic State could unleash the plague and cause the Black Death too.
That's right. It says within the article, as sick Islamic State militants could use the deadly plague as a weapon of war. Within this article, it says it's widely known every superpower in the world is holding a range of deadly viruses, including the plague, which a terror group such as ISIS could seize and unleash. It would see thousands of victims become covered in huge weeping boils before suffering a slow and painful death.
These headlines, Bill, I'm going to get to your book in a few minutes, but what's happening in Iran, and we've signed the deal, the treaty with them. I don't understand what's gone wrong. I mean, how America could be so deceived that we're negotiating, and while we're negotiating, the leaders we're negotiating with are saying, we are going to destroy America. Is this a form of insanity?
Well, it really is, and a lot of the things that we see going on right now with ISIS and with Iran, I believe there's a biblical perspective that we need to teach people about, because all they're really getting is the geopolitical, what do the military analysts say, what do the news pundits say?
Sure.
And everybody wants to know, well, what's the end game? What's the future here? But they're not going to be able to get that from those types of sources. They've got to understand what the Bible has to say about these events, and it has a lot to say about Iran. I believe it's got something to say about ISIS in Psalm 83. So there's just a lot to talk about from the biblical and prophetic perspective,
yes,
so that we can put some bearing on this chaotic world that's going on right now.
Yes.
And you say, when will people actually wake up and see the signs of the times, the earthquakes and things like that? Well, the Bible prophecies that we'll be sharing on your TV program, they're global impacting. They will cause people to wake up, and they're about soon to find their fulfillment. I believe we're looking at a time when we're going to see the literal fulfillment of a Bible prophecy, and probably prophecies, plural. The world hourglass took its final spin 67 years ago when Israel became a nation.
Mm-hmm.
Many of us believe that tipped the turntable toward the end times generation. We're 67 years closer to amazing prophetic events that were told centuries ago.
Mm-hmm.
Psalm 83, the destruction of Damascus in Isaiah 17, prophecies dealing with Iran in Ezekiel 38 and Jeremiah 49. These prophecies appear to be at our doorstep, and once they occur, one will build upon another. They will happen, I believe, soon and sequentially behind each other, and nothing will ever be the same again.
Yeah.
And that's why we need to let people know what the Bible says about these events that are going on.
And, you live in California. Many prophets tell us that drought is a sign of God's judgment upon a nation. And I hate to say this, but California is in a drought, as you probably know.
Oh yeah, one of the severest we've ever had, and wildfires are abounding all throughout the state also. So again, these are probably warnings to the country, remedial judgments where the Lord tries to wake up a nation.
Yes.
You know, we've been experiencing those, not just in California, but the Hurricane Katrina, etc. The list goes on, and that's why I believe the Lord's lifted up people like Jonathan Cahn to kind of wake up this country.
That's right.
With the warnings and the harbingers that we need to be paying attention to.
That's right.
The fires are supposedly the worst in history.
Yes, it's
And
horrible. The
the last I heard, it was over 800 homes burnt to the ground.
That's exactly right. Over 800 homes, nearly 140,000 acres burned. Over 23,000 people have been displaced. And understand that this is just the two fires that are taking place right now in California. It's not talking about the other California fires that have existed just in the past few months prior to this.
I don't know why so much is happening, but the water source is at a 500-year low. That's the supposedly all-time low. They go by 500-year numbers.
Yes.
And then it says the California's historic drought is now officially historic. And then that says what was that one about the biblical kind of a headline?
That's
Just
right.
Use that biblical word.
It was ABC News, and they published it with biblical terms, and it says this: California fires leave behind an apocalyptic like destruction.
Most destructive in California's history, the fires.
Look
All
at
these
that.
things.
Oh,
But the news, North Korea has restarted all nuclear bombs in their plants, their fuel plants and all. They have restarted all of them.
That's right.
And they have said, we plan to use the bomb, the EMP bomb, if possible, on the United States of America. These all things are happening now. There's people sitting out there saying, well, nothing's happening. All these signs, the blood moons, nothing's happening. What do you mean nothing's happening? It's happening everywhere.
yes.